The art of fighting games. That heart-pounding blend of testosterone-fueled intensity. A symphony of fun and pain. Picture the battlefield of digital combat, and what comes to mind? Perhaps the brutal carnage of Mortal Kombat, or maybe the raw energy and nostalgia of wrestling games. But what if I told you in a golden era, when EA crafted gems, they birthed a masterpiece in the fighting game realm? An epic fusion of smooth gameplay and an unforgettable soundtrack that set the stage for mayhem. Welcome back to the electrifying realm of the Retro Fans' Retrospective. Today we're plunging headfirst into the gritty and unforgiving world of Def Jam Vendetta.
Used to be, you wanted to make yourself known. You'd prove your worth as a street fighter or hustler. We don't fight out in the streets no more. We're organized now. We too gangster for the garden, so we've taken it underground. Inside, I'm a businessman, and this is my business. My soldiers are Legion, Method Man, Nori, Capone, Luda, Redman, DMX. You want a shot at me, you gotta make it past these brothers. It's a dangerous world out here. Seems every time I turn around, there's another young buck wants to take me on. I lay down for no man. You want to take what's mine, you gotta beat me. But nobody ever beats me.
If you're new to this channel, I need you to click the likes, as well as the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on another retrospective. Let's dive into this. Well, hold on. Before we dive into the heart of Def Jam Vendetta, let's rewind the tape and start from the genesis. Picture this, 1984, the birth of a musical juggernaut known as Def Jam, founded by the dynamic duo of Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons. Over the subsequent 15 years, Def Jam has become a powerhouse, collaborating with rap titans such as DMX, Flavor Flav, and Scarface. Now, what's the connection between hip-hop royalty and the world of video games, you ask? Well, it turns out Def Jam wasn't just about dropping chart-topping albums. Artists under the Def Jam umbrella were summoned to create sonic landscapes for various games. Ludacris serving up the theme for Madden 2000, or Public Enemy interjecting their vibe into Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. The link between hip-hop and video games became undeniable, but the plot thickens. It wasn't until early 2000 that the man behind the scenes, none other than Def Jam's president at the time, Kevin Liles, took notice. Upon his discovery, he thought of combining hip-hop and a video game together. To express his idea of a game, he met up with EA producer Josh Holmes from Canada. It's at this crossroads that he ventures into the realm of electronic arts, proposing a collaboration that transcends the confines of a standard game. Let's bring hip-hop to life, he suggests. Not just a fleeting experience, but a journey that tells a story. Cut to the other side of the narrative, where Josh Holmes, weaving his creative magic at Electronic Arts, is working on a fighting game code named Kung Fu Fighting. Destiny takes a turn when Paul Lee, an executive at the studio, unveils a struggling wrestling project with the lost WCW license. In the midst of creative uncertainty, Daryl and Selimo and Josh are tasked with a weekend mission, a treatment for a wrestling title that could breathe life into a failing project. As Josh dives into the challenge, crafting a 20-page design on how to turn a wrestling title into an arcade masterpiece, fate takes another unexpected twist. A call from Paulie beckons him to the brainstorming table, a place where ideas are tossed like a dice on a game board. In a room buzzing with marketing minds, the idea takes shape, an idea grounded in the pulsating heart of hip-hop culture. Steve Shumar, the composer of music at EA, fuels the flame, suggesting a collaboration with Def Jam. Rappers battling out in a virtual ring, a fusion of music and mayhem. The idea catches fire, but Josh, momentarily taken back, urges them to reconsider. Yet, the die is cast, and the trajectory is set. Leaving the meeting, Josh and Daryl, now unwitting accomplices in this creative heist, reflect on the unforeseen consequences of their idea. Little do they know, Destiny had other plans. A call comes 3 days later with the revelation. They were now the architects of the Def Jam game, a journey that they must navigate in a mere 8 months. It's here they sign Lauren Wertzer Seawood as the project manager. In the high-stakes world of game development, where 8 months is a tightrope walk, the ambitious Holmes, Liles, and Seawood embarked on a mission. Passion for vendetta propelled them forward, each playing a vital role in meeting the impending deadline. Lyles, a gaming enthusiast, negotiated the delicate dance with EA executives, emphasizing the unique blend of Def Jam and gaming culture. He conveyed the significance of this collaboration, stating, "I trust you. I believe in you." Lyles envisioned a game that could transform a music lover's auditory experience into a visual and interactive spectacle. In his words, it went from his ears to his eyes to his heart. Holmes and Seawood took to the trenches, navigating a world where rappers would grapple, not just with each other, but with the idea of being immortalized in a video game. They crisscrossed the globe, meeting with the likes of Ghostface Killah, Method Man, and Redman, convincing them that this was more than a wrestling game. It was an embodiment of hip-hop culture. Reflecting on those early discussions, Lyles recounted the rarity of hip-hop games at the time, emphasizing the trust and belief that both Def Jam and EA invested in each other. They birthed a moniker for this groundbreaking venture, Def Jam Vendetta. For Seawood, the set wasn't hard. The vision was clear. Artists became collaborators, involved from the top down. Seawood meticulously ensured that every artist felt a personal connection to their in-game avatars, from the clothes they wore, to the names of the characters, to the special moves. Holmes, the pitchman, took the lead in the meetings. Flying alongside Seawood, presented the grand idea. This is the game. This is the story. This is the role you're going to play. He declared artists like Ludacris, reveling in the opportunity to shape their animated alter egos. The result? Characters were not just avatars, but extensions of the artists themselves. In the midst of this creative symphony, challenges arose. Holmes vividly recalls the humorous encounter with Ghostface Killah, who dreamt of a special move involving a giant gold eagle clawing out opponents' eyes. The fantastical request, though impossible within the game engine, prompted Seawood to interject. Shut up and just say yes. It was a delicate dance of creativity and a compromise, ensuring the marriage of hip-hop and gaming stayed true to its roots. As the virtual wrestling ring took shape, each artist became a playable character, not just in the game, but the memories of players. DMX asserted his impact, stating, "They used my music through the whole game. I'm the hardest character. It's pretty much my Sugar Honey IC." After the long ride of putting together this masterpiece, on April 1st, 2003, Def Jam Vendetta hit the shelves.
EA Sports.
This is Funkmaster Flex, and it's time to separate the men from the boys. This is the one y'all been waiting for.
You ready to street fight? You want to street fight? Come on. You ready? Come on, go get it.
This is what it's all about, people. I'm saying it's time for Def Jam.
Hey, yo, Red. Yeah, what up? You see what I see?
Yeah, I see what you see. I see a fool who about to get his ass kicked.
Hey, yo, this is DMX. Keith Murray. Dead Arm Nori.
What's up, it's Christina Milian.
What's up, baby? It's your boy Face Mob in the house.
Ashy Knuckles Capone.
Tony Starks, Ghostface Killah.
Funk Flex.
Philip C. to get a heart.
What's up? This is Ludacris.
Batman, baby.
Check me out. Check me out.
Check me out.
Check me out.
Check this out, man. It's about to go down.
The gameplay stands as a testament to the prowess of the renowned Aki engine, celebrated for its presence in virtual pro wrestling games. At its core, the gameplay draws striking parallels to the acclaimed WWF No Mercy, providing a familiar yet exhilarating combat system. The narrative unfolds in a lengthy story mode, inviting players to embark on a quest to ascend the ranks of Urban Fighting League. The ultimate goal? Confront the undefeated underground boss, D-Mob. Players engage in battles within 3 possible victory conditions: pin, submission, or knockout. The pin requires a 3-second hold, adding a strategic layer of the fast-paced encounters. Submissions involve gradually weakening specific body parts through holds and breaking the hold by reaching the ropes. When the gauge empties, bones break, leading to a submission. The knockout, a definitive spectacular condition, becomes attainable by building up a power gauge through attacking opponents. Once activated, Blazing Mode opens a gateway to executing awe-inspiring special moves, potentially securing victory if the opponent's health is low. The heart of the gaming experience lies in the story mode, a narrative journey through the labyrinth underground fighting scene. Motivated by revenge and driven by the desire to reclaim a lost love, players navigate challenges and adversaries while accumulating cash to enhance their character stats. The immersive mode serves as a gateway to unlocking characters and gallery pictures, fostering a sense of progression and accomplishment without resorting to cheat codes. The battle mode offers an opportunity for players to engage in diverse match types, including single, tag team, handicap, and free-for-all. The strategic element extends to the choice of the player's profiles, emphasizing a variety and ensuring that each match unfolds with a distinctive flavor. As characters unlock additional fighters, the roster expands, presenting players with an ever-evolving array of combatants. For those seeking the ultimate test of skill and endurance, the survival mode stands as a formidable challenge. Stripped of the support of allies, players confront a relentless gauntlet of Def Jam fighters, pushing their limits to see how many opponents they can overcome before succumbing to the formidable opposition. The game succeeds in blending hip-hop aesthetics with intense street fighting. From the intricacies of the combat system to the narrative depth of the story mode, the varied challenges presented in battle and survival modes, the gameplay experience is a symphony of strategy, skill, and narrative immersion. It stands as a captivating testament to the fusion of gaming and hip-hop culture, inviting players to carve their legacy in the gritty and electrifying world of the Urban Fighting League. For the narrative of Def Jam Vendetta, you have the option to play as either 4 different Street Fighters: Tank, Proof, Briggs, or Spider. Each player has the same exact ending and story, although their biographies may be different, and we'll get into that later. The narrative unfolds with a text message, a digital SOS sent by Manny, a pivotal character ensnared in the complex tapestry of the story. Manny, gripped by the vice of gambling, finds himself ensnared in a web of debt, pushing him to drastic measures. Desperate to settle his dues, Manny steps into the unforgiving ring, only to emerge with an arm injury. Manny places a desperate call to the protagonist, beckoning them to the Face Club. The atmosphere is thick, with tension as the player navigates through the dimly lit area, facing off against Pee-wee and Drake. Triumphing over each adversary, the protagonist ascends to a final showdown against the boss of the Face Club, Scarface. Victory against Scarface doesn't just mark a pivotal moment in the player journey, it also catalyzes a new chapter, as Deja, the player's newfound ally and first love interest, enters the scene. The chemistry between the player and Deja is palpable, but the atmosphere takes a sharp turn as Angel, a mysterious figure voiced by Christina Milian, strolls by with an unmistakably malevolent glare. It's revealed that Angel was once the player's girlfriend, but is now involved with the mob boss, D-Mob, a character that we'll get into later. After a loud silence between Angel and the protagonist, everyone turns in for the night.
Damn, Playboy. Where'd you learn to move like that?
Yeah, you keep fighting like that, my money troubles are over. So here's the deal. I set him up, you knock him down. Hey, yo, you listening to me? Oh. Whoa, where are you going? You don't want to get mixed up with that again. Look, here's the story. Angel is with D-Mob now. The end. Now let's bounce.
The player's phone buzzes with a message from Manny, signaling he set up 4 new opponents, each a stepping stone in the saga. After overcoming one of the new opponents, a sudden shift occurs. An angry text message from Angel, laced with hints of jealousy, disrupts the rhythm of the fights. As he continues, the player then faces his next opponent, where post-victory, an unexpected clash erupts between Deja and a current flame, Tom Monique, adding an extra layer of tension to the already charged atmosphere. The battleground extends to the ring as the 2 women challenge for the player's affections.
What's up, baby? You must be tense after all that fighting. Why don't I give you a rub down? Hit the road, honey. This one's taken. By your corny ass? Nah, I think he's ready for a real woman. Ain't you, cutie? Come on, baby. Tell this skank what's what. You're about to get your face broken. That's what's what. Bring it on, bitch.
With this romantic interlude behind him, the player faces and defeats the final 2 opponents. Just when the dust seems to settle, a text from Nori emerges, throwing down a gauntlet for a showdown at Grimeyville. As the player heads to the impending clash, a bold decision is made to impress Angel. Marked by fresh new attire, Manny, in a moment of caution, warns against the choice, but the player persists. The stage is set for a face-off with Nori, and it's in this volatile area that the enigmatic D-Mob makes his first vocal appearance. Tensions escalate, but Angel interferes, preventing the brewing storm from erupting. The player strides to the ring facing Nori in a battle that tests his strength.
Please tell me you didn't buy those clothes to impress Angel, because that'd be a serious mistake. The last thing you want to be doing is pissing off. Oh, D-Mob, hey!
You out of retirement?
Oh, yeah, he's just helping me out. Just these couple of times on account of my money.
You mean my money needs?
Yeah, that's right. Every time he wins, you get paid. It's good for all of us, D-Mob.
Good for us. But what's he getting out of the deal? Stare all you want, little man. I'm the one making her sweat now. Let's make this quick.
Stop it! Forget about him, baby. He means nothing to me.
Yeah. Move out your $5 ass before I have to make change.
Emerging triumphant, the celebration is short-lived as a new adversary, Opal, surfaces, sparkling another clash for the player's heart. Once again, the player must choose walking away from the fray with a new love interest or the same one. In the aftermath, a text from Manny unveils a new opportunity, an invitation to a tag team tournament. The narrative takes an exhilarating turn as the protagonist delves into the tag team circuit, facing the duo of Pee-wee and Zaire at The Bridge. Triumphant against this tag team prompts a revelation for Manny, a tantalizing opportunity to settle the debt with D-Mob, should they emerge victorious in the tag tournament. Shifting back to the solo journey, the protagonist returns to the sanctuary, confronting a fresh set of opponents. After overcoming one of these three challengers, a surprising text from Angel emerges, offering an unexpected apology that unveils her lingering feelings. The protagonist engages in another fierce bout at the sanctuary. After emerging victorious, Penny, a new contender for their affections, emerge. The player's choice becomes pivotal once more as they decide who will stay and who will leave. With the romantic tensions echoing in the background, the tag team circuit resumes as Manny and the protagonist face Chuckles and Sketch. Securing a victory propels them to the tournament semifinals. The stakes escalate as the final tag team looms on the horizon. Simultaneously, the solo side of the story, the protagonist faces the last two opponents at the sanctuary. Triumphing in one of these final stages prompts a text from Manny revealing the inciting opportunity from Def Jam South's champion. The champion's challenge looms large, requiring the player to defeat the last opponent from the sanctuary to secure their challenge at him. After beating the last opponent, Ludacris extends a challenge to the player at his club. Angel sends a supportive text and adds a layer of complexity, hinting at her unresolved feelings. However, before the fight unfolds, a new character named Carla enters the scene, seizing the player's girlfriend right before his confrontation at Club Luda.
Hey there, honey. How you doing?
A little bored. How about you?
What do you say we blow this sausage factory? I'm tired of all these wannabe G's. Let's go find a real G spot.
See you later, chump.
The protagonist emerges victorious, embarrassing Ludacris in his own domain. As the lights dim in the aftermath, D-Mob seizes the spotlight, laying down a challenge. He positions himself as the ultimate test for any fighter brave enough to enter the Def Jam landscape, setting the stage for an epic showdown and marking his territory in the world of underground fighting.
So y'all think that was a fight? That was no fight. And those two ain't shit. If you want to see real fighters, there's only one place to be. Yeah, I'm talking about Def Jam. This year's event will feature something special for all you up-and-comers. Me. Don't think I ain't heard y'all talking. He's too old, you say. Too slow. You think you can take me? Now's your chance to prove it. You want the money? You want the respect? You gotta beat me. But nobody ever beats me.
Listen, I know what you're thinking, and it's a bad idea. Forget about Def Jam and stay away from D-Mob before this whole thing gets too personal.
The narrative intensifies as the protagonist receives a crucial text from DMX, setting the stage for a high-stakes challenge. The path to Def Jam becomes clear, but first, 3 opponents in the Dragon House must be conquered. The protagonist faces and triumphs over the first adversary, setting the beginning of a challenging journey. Afterwards, AR2 sends a text message emphasizing his dominance and assurance of victory in the impending tag match. The protagonist alongside Manny faces AR2 and Roughneck in an intense confrontation, emerging victorious. As success unfolds, a congratulatory text from Angel arrives, acknowledging the protagonist's victory over Ludacris at Club Luda. The exchange takes a flirtatious turn as Angel playfully jokes about the protagonist's newfound single status. The protagonist's journey continues with another victorious fight in the Dragon House, prompting a concerned message from Angel about Manny's situation with D-Mob. The stakes escalate as the last opponent in Dragon House awaits, bringing forth a text from Method Man, challenging the protagonist and Manny to a championship tag match. The showdown unfolds, with Manny and the protagonist emerging victorious, crowned as the new tag champions. In a heartfelt moment, Manny expresses gratitude for the protagonist's assistance, but voices his concerns about the complex dynamics of fighting for Angel's affection, advising the player to just let it be. As the protagonist gears up for the monumental showdown against DMX, a supportive text from Angel arrives, wishing him luck and even providing new fighting gear. The player, fueled by this encouragement, enters the venue and catches a fleeting innocent smile from Angel. However, the moment takes an unexpected turn as D-Mob reacts aggressively, leaving the atmosphere charged with tension.
Whoa. On the low down, in the hook, it's about to go down, ladies. If you focus, man, would you please rock with it if you overstand? No. Get focused, man, cause whether hoopty or over, man, we doing up.
Time to go home.
No.
Undeterred, the player steps into the ring with DMX, engaging in a fierce battle that culminates in victory. Triumph turns to anticipation as Angel sends a cryptic text expressing an eager need to talk. Curious to understand her message, the player heads towards the ring, only to be ambushed by 3 of D-Mob's goons. In a challenging handicap match, the player must overcome one of the 3 adversaries. Victory is achieved, but the plot takes a shocking twist when Manny, in an unforeseen betrayal, turns on the protagonist, knocking him unconscious and delivering a brutal blow with the bat, leaving the protagonist's fate hanging in the balance. The storyline takes a dark turn, setting the stage for intense repercussions and raising questions about loyalty and alliances.
Let's get out of here.
D-Mob called him my mark. He owns me, man.
The Def Jam arena is filled with tension as Manny and Angel wear somber expressions, seemingly resigned to the oppressive atmosphere orchestrated by D-Mob and his goons. However, a glimmer of hope emerges as the protagonist returns to the ring, exuding a newfound determination for the impending battle. In a series of intense confrontations, the player successfully defeats Def Jam's formidable lineup, comprising of Keith Murray, Capone, Dub C, and Ghostface Killah. The stage is now set for the ultimate showdown against D-Mob. As D-Mob and his menacing crew make their way to the ring, a sudden altercation erupts, disrupting the unity within the ranks. This unexpected development prompts Angel to sever ties with D-Mob, choosing a different path. In a moment of unwavering loyalty, Manny, recognizing the gravity situation, takes a bullet intended for the protagonist, sacrificing himself to the player.
Last time, I took your precious little bitch and made her mine. Now there's nothing left to take. So I'm just going to kill you.
Go to hell, D-Mob! I am not yours to own.
Okay, I'll kill you both then.
The climactic battle with D-Mob unfolds in a shocking turn of events, with the stipulation that victory can only be achieved through knockout. The player engages in an intense, high-stakes confrontation, ultimately emerging triumphant over D-Mob. As the final blow is delivered, D-Mob's reign of terror comes to an abrupt end, culminating in his arrest. The authorities intervene to apprehend the once untouchable Kingpin, bringing a sense of justice to the chaotic world of underground fighting. With D-Mob subdued and the threat neutralized, the protagonist stands victorious. The resolution of this fierce battle also brings a personal victory, as Angel is reunited with the player.
Now we coming for the game. Got a palm full of still stomp out. Militainment all name. Never miss when I aim. What the is your luck? You wildin' off your chain.
The game gave us an abundance of characters that we'll go over, starting with the 4 main protagonists: Proof, Spider, Briggs, and Tank. Proof in Def Jam Vendetta is portrayed by a true adrenaline enthusiast, finding joy in anything that offers a thrill. His backstory highlights his early initiation to the world of excitement through motorcycle racing, a passion he pursued since childhood. This hobby escalated when he entered the US Superbike circuit at a young age of 19. However, Proof's story takes a dark turn when his recklessness leads to a serious crash, resulting in the end of yet another racer's career. As a consequence, Proof is held accountable for the incident and he receives a 5-year suspension from the racing circuit. This narrative paints Proof's character with a daring spirit, unafraid to push boundaries yet facing the consequences of his actions. Spider's character in Def Jam Vendetta is a compelling mix of tragedy, resilience, and strength. Growing up in San Juan, Puerto Rico, he faced a life-altering event when his family relocated to New York. Despite being a standout high school basketball player, his dream took a devastating turn his senior year. The turning point came in the form of a random act of street violence, a drive-by shooting that left Spider seriously injured. 2 bullets in one of his legs and another lodged in his skull rendered him comatose for several weeks. The incident shattered his basketball aspirations, forcing Spider to recalibrate his life. In the aftermath of this traumatic experience, Spider found solace and purpose in the world of underground fighting. Abandoning his basketball dreams, he turned to combat means to channel his rage and make a living. The shift from the court to the ring marked a profound transformation for Spider, highlighting his adaptability and resilience in the face of adversity. In combat, Spider showcases a unique fighting style that combines judo and Muay Thai. His repertoire includes a variety of throws, palm strikes, elbows, and knees, demonstrating a diverse skill set. His strong chin and defensive prowess make him a formidable opponent, allowing him to counter and reverse the moves of his adversaries. Briggs, a character in Def Jam Vendetta, carries a tumultuous past that significantly shapes his persona. Dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Marines due to an incident involving the striking of a superior officer, Briggs saw silence in the chaotic world of New York's underground fighting scene. His troubled history becomes a driving force in his involvement of the world of street fighting. In terms of his fighting style, Briggs embodies the archetype of a street fighter. His combat techniques blend elements of martial arts with raw brawling, reflecting a gritty and unrefined approach to combat. Notably, he specializes in power slams and submission moves, showcasing a preference for physically dominating his opponents and asserting control over the fight. Tank is a character in Def Jam Vendetta with a unique background and fighting style. Originally a talented rapper with a devoted Japanese fan base, Tank arrives in New York fueled by aspirations of securing a recording contract with a North American record label. Despite his musical talents, his unconventional Japanese rap style struggles to resonate with North American hip-hop audience, hindering his success into the music industry. To make ends meet in the competitive environment of New York, Tank transitions to the world of underground fighting. This shift from rap to physical combat underscores his determination and ability in the face of challenges. Tank emerges as a brawler within the New York fighting circuit, relying heavily on attacks and powerful moves to overpower his opponents. In the ring, Tank is carried out by his formidable strength and proficiency in executing impactful power moves. His style is not just about finesse, but focuses on dealing substantial damage to his adversaries. Additionally, Tank showcases versatility by incorporating aerial tactics, excelling in diving off the turnbuckle to deliver punishing blows. One character that stands out for his pivotal role in the intricate storyline is Manny. Voiced by Dion Luther, he's like that friend of yours that always gets into trouble and you gotta bail him out. You know what I mean? In the game's narrative, Manny's journey unfolds against the backdrop of gambling debts, personal sacrifices, and unexpected twists that add depth to the overall narrative. Manny's character is introduced with a compelling conflict, his gambling problems have ensnared him in serious debt with D-Mob. This sets the stage for Manny's involvement in the underground fighting scene, as a desperate attempt to repay his dues. The narrative reveals the consequences of his choices as he grapples with the physical toll of competing, evident in the injury to his arm. The turning point in Manny's story comes when he reaches out to the protagonist for assistance at the Face Club. His desperation is palpable and he relies on the player to fight matches on his behalf. This act not only highlights Manny's vulnerability, but also establishes a crucial alliance between two characters, setting the tone for their entwined destinies. Manny's character takes a surprising turn as he and the protagonist achieve success in the tag team tournament, defeating formidable opponents like Method Man and Redman. However, the narrative introduces a twist that adds complexity to Manny's character, a betrayal that shocks players.
D-Mob called him my mark. He owns me, man.
Knocking the protagonist out with a baseball bat and aligning with D-Mob against his will. Manny's actions raise questions about the depths and desperation and the sacrifices made for the survival in the underground world. The climax of Manny's character arc unfolds in a dramatic confrontation in the Def Jam tournament. D-Mob's attempt to eliminate the protagonist with a gunshot is thwarted by Manny's selfless act of taking the bullet. This moment underscored the complexity of Manny's character, a man caught between debts, loyalty, and survival. His survival adds a layer of resilience to his character, showcasing an unexpected twist in the narrative. The resolution of Manny's character's arc occurs at the end of the game when the protagonist, despite the betrayals and conflict, gives Manny an appreciative nod. This nuanced gesture suggests a level of understanding and forgiveness, highlighting the complexities of relationships in the unforgiving world. Manny's journey comes full circle, leaving a player with a mix of emotions and a deeper appreciation for the intricacies of his character. Let's talk about Angel, voiced and inspired by Christina Milian. As the player's former flame and central figure in the storyline, Angel's character weaves an interesting set of emotions, jealousy, and redemption, adding layers of depth to the overarching plot. Angel's significance to the story stems from her history with the protagonist, serving as his girlfriend 3 years prior to the game events. The narrative hints at a past conflict involving D-Mob's inappropriate behavior around Angel, prompting the protagonist to challenge him to a losing fight. This sets the stage for a lingering resentment between the characters, contributing to the tense atmosphere within the underground world. Angel's character introduces a layer of jealousy and emotional turmoil, initially sending hateful messages to the protagonist and stating during an altercation that he means nothing to her. Angel's actions reflect a complex emotional landscape. The deception in her words, later revealed to be a lie, adds a sense of mystery and unappreciability to her character, leaving players to question her true feelings. As the story progresses, Angel undergoes a transformation, showing signs of empathy and softening towards the protagonist. Her initial jealousy over the player's new girlfriend involves a genuine concern for his well-being. The shift in attitude signifies a deeper emotional connection and hints at unresolved feelings between the characters. Angel's importance peaks during a pivotal moment in the narrative, when she sends the protagonist a new outfit before his fight with DMX. This symbolic gesture not only showcases her involvement in the protagonist's life, but also serves as an act of defiance against D-Mob's control. The laughter it elicits from Angel in the face of D-Mob's displeasure underscores her growing independence and strength. The climax of Angel's character arc occurs when D-Mob's confrontation with the protagonist, mocking him about taking everything including Angel. In a powerful moment, Angel asserts her agency and makes it clear that D-Mob does not own her. This act of defiance not only shocks and angers D-Mob, but sets the stage for a dire threat against both Angel and the protagonist. The tragic turn in Angel's role unfolds when D-Mob is driven to desperation, attempts to shoot both her and the protagonist. This moment of redemption for Angel symbolizes a turning point in her character, highlighting the complexities of love, loss, and sacrifice. The culmination of Angel's narrative arc occurs as the protagonist defeats D-Mob, and she leaves the arena hand in hand with him. This symbolic unity and victory suggests a renewed connection and hints at a shared understanding between these characters, transcending the terminless events that shape their journey. Angel's character is a testament of the game's ability to craft multifaceted personas with a gripping narrative, from history of love and resentment to jealousy, defiance, and ultimately tragic redemption. Angel's role adds layers of emotional depth to the overarching story. Her journey serves as an exploration of love's complexities, amidst the harsh realities of an unforgiving world, leaving players with a lasting impression of a character whose significance extends beyond the confines of the underground battle arena. Within the gritty world of Def Jam Vendetta, Darrell D-Mob Lewis stands as an interesting character, a mafia mob boss controlling the underground fight club scene in New York City. Voiced by Christopher Judge, D-Mob's character is layered with nuances, combining elements of power, fear, betrayal, and a twisted sense of authority. D-Mob's identity as mafia boss is a defining aspect of his character. He commands respect and instills fear among those in fight club circuits, solidifying his position as a dominant force. The use of fear as a tool for control is a recurring theme, emphasizing D-Mob's beliefs that no one can challenge him in a fighting match. This perception adds layers of intimidation to the character, setting the stage for the power dynamics that unfold throughout the game. D-Mob's complex relationships contribute significantly in the narrative's depth. His involvement with Angel, the former girlfriend of the protagonist, adds personal dimension to the character. D-Mob's ability to manipulate relationships, turning allies into adversaries, showcases his cunning and manipulative nature. The ultimate betrayal comes when Manny's turn against the player, highlighting the extent of D-Mob's influence and control. D-Mob's assertion of power and authority is reminiscent of two characters, Nino Brown from New Jack City and Suge Knight from Death Row. Like Nino Brown, D-Mob uses fear and manipulation to control those around him, creating an atmosphere of intimidation. D-Mob even quotes Nino Brown in this scene.
Yeah, move out your $5 ass before I have to make change.
Similar to Suge Knight, D-Mob's influence extends beyond the fight club scene, reaching to personal relationships and alliances. Drawing parallels from these iconic figures adds cultural climactic dimensions to D-Mob's character, elevating his character to a level of cultural significance, solidifying his place within the pantheon of ruthless and influential figures in popular media. The Def Jam tournament becomes a battleground where the player challenges D-Mob's authority. The dialogue exchange between D-Mob and the player before the final confrontation reveals a depth of resentment and anger. D-Mob's attempt to exert control through violence and intimidation sets the stage for the tragic turn of events, culminating in Manny's sacrifice. This pivotal moment adds a layer of poignancy to D-Mob's character, showcasing the consequences of unchecked power. D-Mob's character in Def Jam Vendetta is a tapestry of power, manipulation, and betrayal. As a mafia boss, he embodies the harsh realities of the underground fight club scene, using fear as a tool of dominance. The intricate relationships and betrayals woven in the narrative adds complexity to D-Mob's persona, making him a memorable and formidable antagonist. D-Mob's crew is a star-studded cast featuring renowned rappers embodying their real-life personas. While some characters played prominent roles in the main storyline, others made exclusive appearances in alternate versions of the game, particularly the Japanese edition. Among the distinguished roster were the likes of Capone, DMX, Funkmaster Flex, Ghostface Killah, Joe Budden, Keith Murray, Ludacris, Method Man, Nori, Redman, Scarface, and Dub C. Adding an extra layer of international flair, the Japanese iteration of Def Jam Vendetta expanded its scope to include talent from Def Jam Japan. This infusion brought 2 additional rappers to the mix, namely Dabo and S-Word, enriching the game's cultural reach with the fusion of global hip-hop influences. The result was a dynamic, diverse lineup that elevated the gaming experience, showcasing the expansive reach and influence of the Def Jam franchise across continents. Def Jam Vendetta, a symphony of super fast, bare-fisted combat immersed in the vibrant world of hip-hop, made a thunderous entrance onto the gaming scene in April 2003. Developed by Aki, the mastermind behind the grappling engine and acclaimed titles like WWF No Mercy, and backed by Electronic Arts, the game promised an electrifying fusion of single-player and multiplayer experiences in the gritty universe of underground street fighting. The pivotal question reverberating amongst gamers echoed, which version of Def Jam Vendetta stands out as a definitive choice? While both the Nintendo GameCube and PlayStation 2 exhibited a variety in content, the nuanced battle between the two platforms unraveled as a fierce competition. In the arena of features, Electronic Arts meticulously ensured the equilibrium between the GameCube and PlayStation 2 versions. The robust story mode, pulsating soundtracks, FMV unlockables, and multiplayer modes were faithfully transported across both platforms, setting the stage for an immersive gaming odyssey. Here, the platform stood shoulder to shoulder, leaving the ultimate decision to individual preferences. Yet, with the GameCube sought supremacy in graphics, the PlayStation 2 seized dominance in the realms of sound and presentation. The visual allure of Def Jam Vendetta, a spectacle where fighters and arenas materialize in vivid detail, become a stronghold for the GameCube. With anti-aliasing imparting a smoother aesthetic, it presented a visual symphony, albeit marred by flickering edges and jaggies, showcasing the GameCube's prowess. However, the PlayStation 2's sense of victory unfolded in the auditory and presentational arenas. Sound, a pivotal element encapsulating the essence of hip-hop, played a substantial role in Def Jam Vendetta's narrative. While both versions feature identical song lists and in-game audio, the PlayStation 2 distinguished itself through a superior audio quality during FMV sequences and a less compressed rendition of licensed songs, catering to the discerning ears of audiophiles. The presentation battle unfolded with nuances that titled the scales in favor to the Sony PlayStation 2. Despite comparable load times during the initial boot up, the GameCube faltered as it compressed SMV sequences suffered from motion artifacting, detracting from the immersive story mode experience. The PlayStation 2's clearer FMV superior audio quality, marginally longer load times secured a slender victory in the presentation department, emphasizing the platform's commitment to delivering an overall superior experience. In the intense clash between GameCube and PlayStation 2, the latter emerged as the ultimate victor. Boasting compatible presentation, crisp SMV, superior audio quality, the PlayStation 2 rebelled. Even amidst minor load time trade-offs, the choice, while acknowledging individual preferences, underscored the PlayStation 2's ability to elevate Def Jam Vendetta into a gaming masterpiece, leaving players thoroughly satisfied with their chosen platform. Both the American and Japanese platforms of Def Jam Vendetta contain a lot of similarities as well as differences, offering gamers a unique experience tailored to their respective markets. While the core gameplay remained consistent, the divergence between the US and Japanese versions materialized through the distinct box art, character inclusion, and exclusive musical offerings. Let's start with the box art. In the United States, the box art featured the imposing figure of mob boss D-Mob wielding a chain, boldly proclaiming vendetta. Alongside him, a dynamic ring scene unfolded, capturing Manny in the act of suplexing another fighter named Nine-Nine. The imagery encapsulates the intense atmosphere of underground fighting, enticing American audiences with a glimpse into the game's visceral world. In contrast, the Japanese version took a divergent artistic approach. The cover promptly showcased the two Japanese exclusive characters, S-Word and Dabo, signaling a strategic move to appeal directly to the Japanese market. The presence of these characters on the cover aimed to resonate with the local audience, offering a distinct visual narrative that aligned with the gaming's preferences. While the core roster of fighters remained consistent through both versions, the inclusion of S-Word and Dabo as Japanese exclusive characters distinguished the gaming experience. These characters, absent in the US version, became the focal point of the Japanese rendition, providing a localized touch to cater to preferences of the Eastern audience. The decision to introduce unique characters underscored the adaptability of showcasing a thoughtful approach to the global markets. The beats and rhymes of hip-hop transcended cultural boundaries, uniting the musical landscape in Def Jam Vendetta. All the songs featured in the US version found their place in the Japanese counterpart, ensuring a cohesive sonic experience for players on both sides of the Pacific. However, the Japanese version tantalizes the audience with an extra layer of musical exclusivity. Two tracks, It's My Turn by Dabo and Crossover by S-Word, stood as musical offerings exclusive to the Japanese version. This addition not only complemented the introduction of Japanese characters, but also bespoke nuanced approach in a musical curation tailored to regional tastes. Revisiting Def Jam Vendetta from my YouTube channel brought forth a wave of nostalgia, a journey back to a time when video games were more than just pixels and controllers. They were experiences etched into our memories. I invite you to check out my walkthrough, a sincere attempt to capture the essence of a game that, even after 2 decades, continued to resonate with me. Returning to Def Jam Vendetta wasn't a mere trip down memory lane, it was an immersion into an enduring passion. The game, released over 20 years ago, retained all of its allure, captivating me once again. Was it the nostalgia, or was it my inherent love for video games that fueled the enduring connection? Def Jam Vendetta, I realized, was not just a video game, it was a cultural milestone. The brainchild of Kevin Liles, collaboration with EA, marked a pivotal moment, transforming hip-hop from a musical genre into a multi-dimensional experience, seamlessly integrated into the world of gaming. This game afforded rappers the space to be authentic, infusing their music and personas into the gaming landscape. The meticulously crafted rings mirroring the essence of each artist added a layer of authenticity that elevated the gaming experience. As I delve into the narrative, however, the recurring theme of girlfriend dramas stood out as a slight drawback. The game's narrative, though occasionally weighed down by relationship complexities, successfully navigate the core themes of betrayal and retribution. The plot twist involving Manny, while somewhat predictable, managed to deliver a shock factor when he turned against the player. The game's core themes, woven seamlessly into the story, resonated throughout the gameplay, creating a sense of emotional investment. The narrative strength lies in its diversity, allowing players to step into the souls of 4 different characters. This diversity, in my opinion, mitigated the potential monotony that could have arisen from a singular perspective. While the protagonist remained silent, just like Grand Theft Auto 3's Claude, his character development unfolded organically. The changing attire symbolized the evolving connection with his lost love Angel. The reunion towards the end, although slightly cheesy, adhered to the experience's narrative arc, providing closure to the protagonist's journey. The gameplay, while exceptional, showcased a slight flaw in the outdated wrestling engine. Wrestling enthusiasts might find pressing the triangle to run and the directional limitations reminiscent of a bygone era. However, recognizing that this engine was just a product of its time, I embraced the quirks as an inherent to the era that birthed it. What truly set Def Jam Vendetta apart was its soundtrack, a symphony that breathed life into every moment of the game. Fighting DMX with the intoxicating intro to It's Dark and Hell is Hot elevated the game's intensity to exhilarating heights. The audio became the pulse of the game, defining its atmosphere and contributing significantly to the overall experience. This game's success paved the way for EA to delve deeper into Def Jam's universe, a testament to the impact it had on both gaming and hip-hop communities. As I reflect on this timeless classic, I find myself compelled to rate it a solid 9 out of 10. It stands as a true classic, transcending the limitations of its time and inviting anyone who appreciates gaming and hip-hop culture to embark on this unforgettable journey. If you can, I implore you to experience this gem for yourself. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I post videos every 2 weeks, so here's my latest post along with other retrospectives. This is the Retro Phantom, signing out.